Hey friends, welcome to Autism Blueprint's Lessons. It's meant to be a under 9-minute overview on today's subject, but at the end of the video, you will find an end card where you can go directly to our full podcast on the things in today's lesson. Let's get started. Today we're talking about something that can shift the way families understand communication for non-speaking or unreliably speaking autistic people. Spelling to communicate, often called S2C. In this lesson, you'll learn 3 core ideas. 1. Why communication can be a motor planning issue, not an intelligence issue. 2. What presuming competence really means in everyday life. And 3, the ethical guardrails that help protect the integrity of a non-speaker's message. If this topic matters in your home, stay with me. We'll keep it clear, respectful, and practical. Spelling to communicate is a method that supports non-speaking and unreliably speaking autistic people to communicate by spelling, often using a letterboard or a keyboard, while building the underlying motor skills needed to do that more and more independently. A key shift here is this. The barrier may not be, does the person understand? The barrier may be, can the body reliably carry out the plan to communicate? When many people hear the word motor, they think of walking, running, or gross motor skills. But motor planning is bigger than that. Motor planning is having an idea, forming a plan, executing that plan, and adapting if something changes. Here's a simple example. If I want a sip of coffee, I reach out, grab the cup, bring it back, and take a sip. If I miss the cup, I notice that through sensory feedback, and I adjust. Many autistic people experience differences in this process, especially in the link between planning and execution, or in adjusting based on sensory feedback. That means someone can understand a great deal and still have trouble showing it reliably, especially through speech. This is one reason S2C places such a strong emphasis on teaching the motor steps needed for accurate communication. Another important reframe. Non-speaking isn't always complete silence. It's often about reliability. Some people have no speech. Some have a few words. Some speak a lot, but the speech isn't reliably usable to express what they truly mean when they mean it. So the question becomes, can this person use speech as a reliable and effective tool for communication? If not, spelling-based communication may provide another path. Now let's talk about safety and ethics. One helpful way to remember the guardrails of S2C is the 4 R's: replicable, reliable, responsible, researchable. First, replicable. The method should be consistent across trained practitioners, so communication doesn't depend on one specific person's unique style. Second, reliable. This is about protecting the integrity of the non-speaker's message, avoiding influence. That includes asking neutral questions, not guessing words, respecting word boundaries, and keeping the board stable so the message stays the communicator's. Third, responsible. Just because someone can communicate doesn't mean adults should suddenly ask deeply personal questions. Boundaries matter, privacy matters, and respectful, age-appropriate conversation matters. Fourth, researchable. If a method is ever going to become widely accessible in schools and healthcare systems, it needs consistent practice so meaningful research can be done, especially because non-speakers are too often excluded from studies that shape services. Now let's talk about presuming competence. Presuming competence means starting with the belief that an individual can learn, and that it's our job to figure out how to teach in a way their nervous system can access. It doesn't mean pretending everything is easy. It means not confusing communication difficulty with lack of understanding. And there's an important companion idea: presuming autonomy. When communication opens up, it's normal for parents to feel excited and ask everything. But many non-speaking people have spent years learning to please adults. So we need to remember, they can say no. They can refuse questions. They don't owe anyone their thoughts on demand. Let's make this practical. Here are a few things families can start doing right away. First, feed the brain every day. Read out loud. Play audiobooks. Listen to podcasts in the car. Share information without turning it into a test. Second, speak respectfully around non-speaking people. Assume understanding. Avoid negative or dismissive language in front of them. Third, expand experiences beyond one narrow interest. Exposure builds vocabulary, concepts, and real choice, even when someone can't yet express preferences reliably. And fourth, if you explore spelling-based communication, prioritize training, ethics, and neutral support. How communication is supported matters just as much as the method itself. We'll pause here for a quick break. When we come back, I'll share the one-sentence takeaway to remember. Here's the takeaway. Communication challenges can be motor-based, so we presume competence, teach the motor skills, and protect the person's autonomy and message. When families move from prove you understand to we'll support you to show what you know, the entire relationship can change. If you'd like the deeper, longer conversation on this topic, including more context and examples, the full podcast episode is linked at the end of the video. Take what helps, skip what doesn't, and go at your own pace.